Well, March is a month that's full of weather surprises, and I don't think that this month is going to be any different. I was looking at the longer range snow outlooks, and listen, I know I'm going all the way out to the 20th, but look at how this is showing up, okay? At least some heavy snow. This would be this morning's run. This would be yesterday afternoon's run. This is the GFS we're looking at, by the way. Yesterday evening, the overnight, and then the early morning run on Monday. So you can kind of see where the snow's concentrated. I don't know that we could believe anything just yet. Specifically, you're going to get a couple of runs every now and then that does these weird things that put snow further to the south. The models just haven't grabbed onto what's happening. But, of course, yesterday midday, everyone from, West Kentucky all the way to Pittsburgh in the Northeast was watching this. But I think we're feeling confident, though, now about this snow that's happening across the Pacific Northwest. That risk growing across southern Ontario, parts of northern Wisconsin, into the Great Lakes. Also further east into Canada, also into the Northeast too, where it's going to start to turn really cold. More on that coming up in just a second. Let's talk about the severe risk as we head through today. Across the south, that's going to be the highest area of risk from Arkansas all the way east into Alabama. Strong damaging winds. There's going to be some hail here as well, and the tornado risk, it's not zero, but it's not off the charts. Enough wind shear that there could be a few spin-ups. Tomorrow, that risk increases, though. We're looking now from Texas all the way up into Oklahoma, Kansas, and then your severe risk really ramps up once you get into Missouri, northeast of that into Illinois and Indiana, possibly as far as northeast as Michigan, where we just had the severe weather. So another round of storms on the way, and unfortunately, not just strong damaging winds, but tornadoes will be a risk here too. The highest risk looks like it's going to be across Illinois, into Indiana and Missouri as we head into the afternoon and evening, also across Texas too. Watch these storms, and then day 3, we're not done with it. By the time we get into Wednesdays, the front moves east. We're looking from PA all the way down to East Texas again. Let's track the changes that are on the way. March is always full of changes, and I think, again, more on the way. There's the severe weather as we move through Monday into Monday night. Across the south, this starts to calm down some overnight. Colder air, and I'm telling you what, guys, this is some really cold air that's just lurking north of the border. Now you're getting into March where you get these huge temperature differences, and what happens is you get those strong thermal gradients that develop, and really strong jet stream winds start to develop as a result of that. You can also get some big storms in March. That's why March is notorious for some of the biggest, not just severe weather outbreaks, but also snowstorms. All right, just going to put that out there. I'm shopping for a snowstorm. If you're an OG here on the channel, that's where I'm at. Timing that out specifically, I think, is going to be difficult this far out, but this is what we're looking at. Tuesday, warm again. This is giving everyone spring fever. Spring is on the doorstep. I get it. But unfortunately, your temperatures are probably going to go back down, at least, I think, from the Mid-South all the way down. Maybe even into the South, we get colder. Not a big snowstorm threat here, but to the north, we're turning cold again across the Great Lakes. And some more snow on the way here. Some ice possible. Freezing rain, sleet as far north as Maine. Southern New England looks like it's all rain with this one. And then here comes some colder air behind this. It starts to get tapped into as high pressure settles into the plains. Temperatures get dropped back a little bit. I mean, we've been super warm here, but we're back down to maybe normal. And then as this front moves through, it's going to bring a lot of rain to the East Coast as we head into now Wednesday night into early Thursday. Heavy snow ongoing. Look at this across the west. It's just going to continue to funnel here into the Pacific Northwest over the coming days. Snow levels will also start to drop some, and in some of the Cascades, some of these ranges could see up to 100 inches of snow in the next 7 days or so. When we're talking about, it's probably not the norm, but this could be some of the heaviest snow we've seen this winter season as we start to wrap up winter. Once we get into the weekend, okay, let's set the stage. Friday, we've got some cold air rushing into the Northeast. The South, relatively quiet, okay? Not a lot going on down here. Severe weather, backing off. We're getting to chill a little bit. Or, I don't know if you're really chilling. Maybe chilling with your emotions, but not so much with the weather. The weather's really warm from Texas, even into the southern Rockies, across the Southwest, pretty warm. We are going to watch this next system, which looks a little potent. I think we watched the one on Saturday. On the north side of this, there could be a heavy stripe of snow somewhere from southern Alberta all the way into North Dakota, Minnesota, and look how this storm really ramps up as we get toward the weekend. All right, this is something, look, maybe even severe weather. You've got a little bit of a negatively tilted trough. You've got a strong area of low pressure deepening as it heads towards the Great Lakes. You'll likely have a warm front here. I don't know if the severe risk is here, but it might be here with this front moving through. And on the north side of it, really heavy snow showing up on the European this morning. Yesterday, that was a lot further to the south, but cold air on the way behind this, and this is an impressive looking change with that chilly air pushing all the way down to the Gulf Coast. Now you've got a huge ridge up across the west Big trough in the east. Can you get something to develop here and swing up the East Coast? At this point, I don't know. We're really far out, okay? So don't turn your back on March is what I always say. Either way, the European says we're going to get back to warmth, but notice how it doesn't want to let go of the trough long range, okay? And are we dealing with more winter storms? Possibly. Here's the GFS from this morning. I'm going to let this animate pretty quickly so you can follow along wherever you are through the weekend. And again, watch this heading into the weekend. And then next week, I think all bets are off. I mean, do we end up surging the warm back to the east? I don't think the jury is in yet on that. Yesterday, let me go back to this and just show you the wild scenarios we were seeing with the GFS. And again, I've shown the snow map already, but front moves through and waves of low pressure developing along the front. At least it's trying to advertise that a couple of times. So don't turn your back on March. This looks a little more predictable, though. I think the Europeans starting to settle in on the snow totals through Thursday across parts of Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan, further north into Canada. The GFS is heavier. It's always a little heavier, but boy, I'm telling you, I show you the European, but I go, watch this. The GFS not doing too shabby lately. Could be a heavy stripe of snow here. More to come. We're looking at Thursday. It's Monday, so let's watch this. Further to the west, this is the snow that we're seeing out in the Rockies. This looks pretty good here. Beyond this, I think we start to really pick the snow up. We're not done with the winter yet across Canada and in the northern tier. Further to the south, not much snow across the southwest. But boy, let me tell you something. Into the Cascades of Washington, it's going to snow. And it's going to snow a lot, too. We're talking about feet of snow once you get up into the higher elevations. Some places could see 5, 6, 7 feet of snow. And along the Continental Divide into the northern Rockies, some really heavy snow here, too, from Alberta. Some of the snow tries to sneak east of the mountains out towards Calgary. I mean, look, the GFS tries to put down nearly a foot of snow from Calgary, a little less up towards Edmonton, but down into Montana, Idaho, northern Wyoming, really heavy snow falling here. Look at these temperatures. Yeah, snow is laughable across the south. It's a warm day today, and it's another warm day tomorrow. We bring that warmth all the way up to St. Louis near 80. All right, so it's pretty nice and warm. Here comes some colder air. You start to see signs of it by the time you get into Wednesday, moving through the Great Lakes, and now pushing a little bit further to the south as we head into Thursday. There comes the front. It's clear to see where that's going to be. We'll have to watch for that severe risk on Wednesday further to the east. And then by Thursday afternoon, will be your highs, or at least your afternoon highs, somewhere in the 40s and 50s, widespread. The 70s and 80s are even gone from the south. We start to push that pretty far away, but we bounce back pretty nicely on Friday with a lot of sunshine. And then into Saturday, you're starting to develop that really strong thermal gradient. Look at that. And then the next system could really get us cold. I mean, the European tries to overdo things with lows. Do we really get below zero up in here at night with highs only in the single digits and teens? For March 17th, certainly possible this far north. This would put your highs, look at this, even into the south, into the 40s and 30s and 20s. This looks like February, late February anyway. It's definitely below average for March. More to come on that. Hot across Oklahoma today, mid-80s, close to 90 in some areas. Look at these 88s showing up here across parts of Texas. So you get an idea of where it's warm. That's it. Front dropping south as we head into Tuesday. A little bit cooler across North Dakota, Nebraska, up into Minnesota. And then into Wednesday, the front drops south into Missouri. So we say goodbye to the really warm temperatures. 70s replaced, and 80s really, mid-80s replaced by 60s across Oklahoma and Texas. That cooler air surges south. A pretty chilly morning heading into Thursday morning into the 30s, but we'll rebound back up into the 60s and the warmth back again into eastern Colorado and Nebraska by Thursday. Further to the west, warm here, especially across the southwest. Snow levels in the Pacific Northwest dropping as the colder air moves in. Highs in the 50s for places like Spokane. Boise, not bad in the mid-50s. Back into the 60s, though, by Thursday. All right, subscribe, come back. Hope to see you soon. More updates coming as we watch this wild March unfold.